The Lies He Hid. A story of emotional betrayal. Layla lived in a small village in South Asia. The place was beautiful, with simple houses and green fields all around. Life there was full of traditions. People strongly believed in the importance of family and marriage. For them, a woman's happiness was in having a good husband and taking care of the home. But Layla was different. She was smart and full of dreams. While other women accepted the expectations of society, Layla questioned them. She wanted to be respected for her thoughts, not just for what she did at home. One day, during a big cultural celebration, Layla met Amir. He was polite, always smiled, and seemed to respect everyone around him. He said all the right things and appeared to be a trustworthy man. Layla's family liked him very much. The community praised him too. He seemed like the perfect husband. However, Layla noticed something strange. Amir had a different way of speaking. He seemed to be hiding something. Sometimes he hesitated before answering simple questions. But Layla ignored her feelings. After all, everyone said he was the ideal man. Was Amir truly the perfect man everyone believed he was? Layla would soon discover the truth after their marriage. Layla and Amir got married quickly. The community was excited, and her family was proud. The wedding was beautiful, filled with music, colors, and happy faces. Layla felt hopeful about her new life. In the first few months, everything seemed perfect. Amir was kind and caring. He brought small gifts for Layla and made her feel special. He spent time with her family, earning their trust even more. Layla began to think she was lucky to have him as her husband. But slowly, things began to change. Amir started acting distant. He stopped talking to Layla about his day. He spent more time on his phone, always keeping it close to him. When Layla tried to have deep conversations, he avoided them or changed the subject. One day, Layla noticed something unusual. Amir was texting someone often and smiling at his phone. When she asked about it, he said it was just work. But the way he answered felt wrong. He seemed nervous, and his words didn't match his actions. Layla couldn't ignore the strange feeling in her heart. Who was Amir really talking to? And why was he keeping secrets? One evening, Amir left his phone on the table and went to take a shower. Layla hesitated for a moment, but curiosity and doubt overwhelmed her. She picked up the phone and unlocked it. What she found shattered her heart. There were messages from another woman. They were sweet, caring, and filled with words that Amir had never said to her. The messages showed a deep emotional connection between them. It wasn't physical, but it was clear. Amir had feelings for this woman. Layla felt a wave of emotions, shock, sadness, and anger. She couldn't believe that the man she trusted was hiding such a big secret. Tears filled her eyes as she thought about everything they had shared. When Amir returned, she decided to confront him. "Who is she?" Layla asked, holding up the phone. Amir froze, his face pale. He tried to take the phone from her, but Layla refused. "It's nothing," he said quickly. "We're just friends." But Layla wasn't convinced. "Friends don't talk like this," she replied. "Do you even realize how much this hurts me?" Amir didn't answer. Instead, he looked away, avoiding her eyes. His silence was louder than words. Layla realized she couldn't ignore the truth anymore. She had to decide. Would she accept his excuses, or would she stand up for herself? That night, Layla sat alone, thinking about her life and her marriage. She felt betrayed, but more than that, she felt invisible. Amir's actions showed that he didn't value her trust or her love. Layla thought about the expectations placed on women in her community. Many would tell her to forgive and move on, to focus on keeping her marriage intact. But how could she ignore the pain? How could she stay in a relationship built on lies? She looked in the mirror and saw a strong woman staring back. She had always been different, brave, smart, and unwilling to settle for less than she deserved. Why should this moment be any different? The next morning, Layla made her decision. She stood in front of a mirror, her voice calm but firm. "I will not live in a marriage without honesty and respect," she said. "You betrayed my trust, and I can't pretend everything is fine." Amir tried to defend himself, but Layla didn't let him. "This isn't just about your messages," she continued. "It's about how little you value our relationship. I deserve better than this." With those words, Layla packed her things and left. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but staying would hurt even more. As Layla walked away, she felt a mix of pain and freedom. What would the future hold for her? Could she find happiness again on her own terms? Layla returned to her family, unsure of how they would react. She knew leaving her marriage would bring criticism from the community, but she also knew she couldn't live a life of lies. Her mother held her tightly and said, "You are brave, Layla. You chose dignity over fear." Those words gave Layla the strength to face the world. The days that followed were challenging. Some people whispered behind her back, questioning her decision. Others openly criticized her, saying she should have stayed and worked things out. But Layla ignored them. She reminded herself that her happiness and self-respect mattered more than anyone's opinion. Over time, Layla found peace. She began focusing on herself, exploring her passions, and connecting with people who valued her for who she truly was. She also started sharing her story with other women in her village. She encouraged them to speak up, to stand strong, and to demand respect in their relationships. Layla became a symbol of courage, showing that it was possible to rebuild your life even after heartbreak. Layla looked back on her journey and smiled. She had lost a marriage, but she had gained something far greater: her freedom and self-worth. This video is a reminder that staying true to yourself is the greatest act of courage. What would you do if faced with a choice like Layla's? Let us know in the comments below.